Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures and back with you again to do the next weekly challenge with Roxy, or Rachel, Roxy's weekly challenge. And today she's making little tiny little clusters with fabrics, and she's hand sewing hers. And when I first saw her doing that, I thought, well, that's not for me, I won't be doing this challenge. And then I thought, well, maybe it'd be okay if I sewed them with my machine. And then later in the video she does actually say if you don't hand sew, it's fine to use to machine sew them. So I thought, well, that's okay then, I'll do that. So I've surrounded myself with little bits of fabric, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cluster them together and pin them. And then at the end of the video, so I'll leave myself some time at the end, hopefully enough time to just go through and sew them all so that they'll actually be completed. So with no further ado, I'm going to start my timer and let's see what we can do. If the timer will start, there we go. So I hope you all had a wonderful Easter. It's Tuesday today, so it's the day after Easter Monday. So when I get going, I'll tell you how things went in our house. So I've just got a little tiny piece of it's like a cottony fabric. I've been using this quite a lot in my bird journal for packing things because I like all the fluffiness. So I'll start with a piece of that, and let's have a piece of this. Just some leafy, a little bit of leafy fabric, and she kept hers really small, and I think that's one thing. I've made lots of clusters and well, snippets really, but I haven't made little tiny ones before. So I thought that would be quite nice just to have really small bits, small clusters, because they'll be a bit different. And you can just pop them, you know, onto a tag or something. So I've got that little piece there. So, and I'm just going to do what she did, have 3 little pieces, and she sewed them. I'm going to pin them, and then that one's ready to be sewn. So yeah, so just try and put together a few little bits, and have this one with the rose on this time. Love this fabric. So a bit of that, and what can I have in as my base? A little piece of this. Not quite big enough. I'll just bring my little box in. Another piece of that, just because it's there. So yeah, it's been a funny old few days weather-wise over here, because we've you know, Good Friday and Easter Saturday were grey and really cold and not very nice at all. Nice cold old wind came in, and it wasn't very nice at all. And then Easter Sunday was absolutely glorious here. We couldn't believe it. We just, you know, they'd said it was going to be warmer, but I think it was even warmer than they predicted. And luckily that was the day we had decided to have the family over. So we had both the girls and their partners and our little darling, and they all came over, and we're just in the garden the whole time. We're now allowed to have 6 people gathering together in an open space or in your garden. So I think many people took advantage of that and had family over or friends in their gardens, as we did. And we just did, you know, easy stuff, easy food, burgers and hot dogs and chips, corn on the cob, things that you can just eat on your lap or walking around if you want to. And we were sort of thinking we were going to need blankets and hot water bottles and things like that, because we were still thinking it might not be as warm as they said. And in the end, we needed sunglasses and hats. It was so sunny and so lovely. We were out there for hours and hours, and it was just absolutely glorious. So yeah, it was a really lovely afternoon, and we had a lovely time with our granddaughter. She actually she pretended she wanted to go to bed, course she never does. She never wants to have a daytime nap, but she wanted to visit her room, which she remembers, she never forgets, that we've got a little room that we've decorated with Peppa Pig curtains and a duvet cover for her. And it had toys and children's books and things in there. So she wanted to go and visit her room, basically. So I went up with her and we spent a lovely time playing with her toys, and she took all the toys out of the toy basket, and then she got in the toy basket, or the toy box it is really. Yeah, she had to get in it. She does that. She loves getting in a box. And the box became a train, and then it was a bed, and she had her toys in there with her, and it was lovely. And then she, Richard had bought her a little watering can. So when we went back down, she did some watering in the garden with her granddad, which he'd thoroughly enjoyed, of course. And she was thrilled to bits that she had a special watering can all by herself. Although she was inclined to water, she was very, very keen on watering certain patches. And then we had mud pies as well. And I think she really enjoyed herself. And we all did. It was wonderful. We played cricket, and I don't know, we just sat and talked, and it was just, oh, it was wonderful. So yeah, that was a lovely, lovely day. And then it was cold again yesterday. Still sunny, but bitterly, bitterly cold. It must have dropped about another 10 degrees back again. The really nasty cold north wind arrived, so I didn't go out much at all yesterday. Every time you open the door, this icy blast came in, so I stayed indoors and tidied up my craft room. Did a bit of a spring clean, so I felt quite productive. So that's that one. A little bit of this sort of very, very thin fabric. Cut a piece off this end, perhaps. Get rid of this seamy bit. Yeah, so I hope you were able to also enjoy spending some time with family, friends, any loved ones that are able to be close enough to come and visit. We're just lucky that ours aren't too far away, and we're able to come over. They don't live, you know, they're both about half an hour away, so it's not too bad. Right, a little piece there. So piling up a little bit. Get a nice little pile of pretty little clusters. I've got half a mind to, you know, on the fact that I'm doing another wedding journal. I thought I'd make a few little, perhaps more little weddingy bits. I used up quite a lot, and I didn't really use a lot of this sort of thing in my other wedding journal, so I thought I will do this a little bit differently. I've got a whole bag of bits and pieces here. I might as well just get those out and see what I can find. A little, very pale pink piece. It's got you can hardly see it. It's got the tiniest little bit of pink on there. And maybe this little bit of pink here. Or what about this piece? Don't want it to be too big. I'm trying to remember to keep everything quite small. These ones. Okay. See how this is going to go. We're going to end up with little bits of fabric everywhere. Don't know if I'll be able to tear this. Oh, just a little bit. Okay, a little piece of this. Don't really want the words, or bit of word, just cut that off. About there. What's that? Don't know. Okay, that one works. Put that there. So I've got my, the reason I've got my little board here, my little green board, is because I've got my sewing machine just sat just there, and then I can just easily move these things out of the way. If I have my big green board, it gets a bit in the way when I'm trying to do a bit of sewing. So I'll use that piece. It's a funny old shape, but it doesn't matter. I'll go there. And what else can we put on there? That bit there. So I hope these aren't going to be too fiddly to sew on the machine. I haven't tried sewing anything quite as small as this. We'll give it a go. I love this material. It's a really pretty piece. I don't really want to hide the roses. I want to put that nearer the. I need to put something underneath it. I've got a piece of this that's a bit. That's a bit plainer. So I can go underneath with just a little frayed bits poking out. That's quite nice. Possibly don't need all of that. And then can I put on top something see-through? What's this? It's a bit thick. No, that's not going to. Well, I just use another little piece of lace, I guess, because then you can still see the roses through there. Okay. Don't know how these are going to turn out. They might need a little. I might feel the need to put a little something extra on them afterwards. I don't know. Right. What else have we got? There's another piece of this. Is that the back or the front? Oh, that's the front. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. And a little bit of that, I think. So some of these little more greeny ones will go in my bird journal, and I need to get away from just thinking of them for certain journals, because sometimes you want something that might go in something else that I don't even know I'm going to be needing yet. Try to do some that are a bit more general. Like something with this blue, which is really pretty. Bit of blue. About this bit of tealy colour. Hang on. I did have a strip of something I was going to use. Not that. Yeah, a bit of that. Because just off the bottom of the curtains, the matches the one this fabric comes from. It's just a bit I've stripped off, took off the bottom. I thought makes good bases. Now it's probably a bit small now, so do a bigger piece and cut it down a little bit. I think. Is it going to tear? No, too narrow. Too narrow for me to tear. Just cut it. And then I might just pop that under there. Like that. Okay. There we are. So I'm getting a little pile. Should we do a slightly bigger piece of material? I don't really need this big piece. Now it's got mixed in with all my little scraps. It's lovely though. But I need to use the small pieces. A bit of that. Maybe another little bit of that. And oh yeah, a little piece here. That's pretty. Okay, pin those. It's getting quite an eclectic little mix now. Right, so a little piece of that. And a nice bit of pink, although you can't really see that. I might cut some of that off so you can still see the little piece behind. That. And a piece of this white cotton. Just poking out from behind there. Just gives it another little bit of depth. There's another one. Ooh, look at that. Oh, I don't think I want to use that. It's a nice big piece. I've got an idea of where I might use that. Okay, a little piece of floral. It's pretty. Trim that up a little bit. Bit of that. Put that on there. Like that. And what else can I put with it? A little bit of lace with just a little bluish trim. I might just trim off this little weird bit sticking out here. Well, I've got to keep an eye on the time so that I give myself time, because the more I do, the longer it's going to take me to sew them all together, isn't it? One of those, piece of that, and this is going to be a really tiny one. Oh well, give it a try. I think some of these ones are perhaps a little bit smaller. I will just do a little zigzag down the middle. That should do it. Maybe I've gone a bit too small with some of these. I'll do another bluish one. About a bit of that. I don't know. It's a bit of a mixture. What have I got here? Oh, that's pretty. piece of that off, see how that looks. I wonder if I can put that behind there. I don't really want the brown now. I think I'll have this little bit of blue. Yeah. That one. How are we doing? Oh, seem to have got quite a lot of time left still, but I mustn't underestimate how long it's going to take me to sew this lot up. It's a pretty blue one. And a little piece of this really pretty beigey colour. And a bit more stripe? No. Doesn't really go. No. I might put this bit on actually. It's a bit different. Okay. I've got this one. This one. And this one. Just grabbing what's in front of me. Try not to worry too much about the colours. They'll work somewhere. So I've got this piece. I've got this piece. That's a bit boring. What else have we got over here? A lot of these was from a charm pack. These ones have got the pinked edges. They're all from a charm pack that I bought ages ago. They're really pretty colours. And this is from the same pack. So I don't want to be overly matchy with the pieces. So if I put that underneath. I need something different on top. Piece of that, perhaps. Perhaps that goes in between. Oh, look at these. It's very, very stringy, this one. Right. I think I might have to start sewing some of these. Otherwise I won't get them finished. Obviously doing them this way is a lot quicker than doing the hand stitching that Rachel did, so you don't have the same finish. But as I'm quite a slow stitcher, even on the sewing machine I'm not that fast, so probably ought to make a start on doing that before I run out of time. So let's just put some of these bits away. I've still got a gazillion little scraps to use. Could go on doing this all day, I think. End up with a mountain pieces, but I think it's time to make a start on sewing them together. Just make a little space. Right, I'll move this aside. Move these around to here. Get this out of the way as well. And here it comes. Whoop. Here comes the sewing machine. I don't know how well you'll be able to see what I'm doing. I'll try and show you what I'm doing as I go. And I've got a pale grey. I've decided to thread it with pale grey. It had brown in, and I thought that brown, with such small things, brown would be too dark. So I've decided to go with the grey. Oh, the other thing I was thinking, oh, it's too late now. I was going to put I've got some little stamped pieces of fabric I was thinking of using on one or two, but I forgot to get them down. So it depends if I've got any time at the end. I might just leave that in for now. Pull it out as I get started. So I think with this one, I think I'm going to do a little zigzag down the middle. Probably do that with quite a few of them. Let's see how it looks. I know you can just keep running them on one after the other, and I might do once I get going. I just wanted to see how it comes out. There we are. So just that little piece like that. You can't really see the stitches, but some of them, because they're going to be quite pale and delicate, I didn't really want a really dark. I mean, I could have brown on some, but I haven't really. I'm not going to want to keep changing the thread through the thing, so I thought the grey would be somehow a mid-range colour that would show more on some than others. I'll do a bigger zigzag and see how that looks. So a slightly bigger zigzag. Right. How does that look? Looks okay. Let's try that one again. I might try feeding them through one after the other once I've got started. Might speed things up a bit. Just pull it through a little bit and then get the next one in. Okay, I'm going to go for a smaller zigzag on this one, I think. Pull it through a bit, get the next one in. Pull this one through, next one in. This one through, And one of that one's done. Next one. Oh, lost my pedal. There it is. Must take the pin out before I try to sew it. Right, and the next one. Oop. Plenty more to go. Good thing I've given myself a bit of time to do this. I've got a string of them now going round down the back, so I'll be able to see them all in the end, at the end. Okay, next one. I think they're coming out quite pretty. Whoa. Has my bobbin run out, as I feared it might? I have got another one ready on the standby because I thought it might do. It's making a funny noise, so that is my concern, is that the bobbins... Yeah, I think the bobbin might have run out. Or something. Something's not very happy under there. It's got a bit caught. Not quite sure. Do we have bobbin issues? Something's got caught on here. I have to give it a bit of a yank, I think. That's it. Not quite sure what's happening there. Seems to have released it, so I think I've still got a bit of bobbin left. Yes, I have, so I'll just keep going. Okay, and next. Down to the last 5. So yeah, I'm getting quite close to my time, so quite excited to see how they all look when they're all finished. Whoop. Okay, next one. Oop. Oopsie. Took the pin out and took half the material with me. Try again. Right. Right, let's put that back in again. Be a bit more careful. There we go. no, I was going to, not detaching that yet, am I? I was forgetting. Right, just a little one. Okay. Ooh, 2 more. We're nearly done. And I've done it again. Just too keen to pull that pin out. Oop. No, that doesn't look right. Pin it back together properly. There we are. Whoop. What is it about this little piece at the back? It just wants to ruck up. It doesn't want to stay flat. Well, perhaps I might try and do it without putting the pin in. Maybe that'll work still. One done. Whoop. And where's it gone? Last one. So I might have time to do one with my little piece of stamped fabric, which would be quite nice, even if it's only one. That's it. Last piece. Oh. Okay. Not going to lie, that does hurt my shoulder doing that. Holding the arm up to the machine does kind of, oh, does hurt the shoulder. But got all this done, so it's worth it. So just got to trim them all off now. So let's put them back on the mat so they'll be easier to see. And if I have any time left, I might just try and do one with the stamped fabric. I'm sure I've got one stamped with a bird, which I quite like to do. Let's get my little box and put my bit of strings in it. So there's one. It takes a few minutes just to clip them all apart. Another one. One. I like these little ones. I feel like I could just pop them on anything. Just as a little bit of decoration, or a topper on a tag or something. Get the next one. I've got a few here that would probably work in the next wedding journal that I'm working on. Not that I haven't got very far yet. When I say I'm working on it, I think I've made one thing. I've got to do the cover, and that's going to take a little while. I'm going to do it the same as I did the last one, and I will do, when I finally get around to finishing it, I will definitely do a flip through of it, and if I make anything that I didn't make for the first one, I will probably do that on camera as well, just as an odd extra video I'll pop in somewhere if if I'm going to make anything. Who knows? Right, get in there, get them just chopped up. Well, that's a diddly one, isn't it? Blue one. And where are we? Which one's next? So many strings to cut off. It's a good thing I started when I did. I've only got 4 minutes left of my 45, so yeah, I knew this would take a little while. I'm not going to have time to do, I don't think I'm going to have time to do one with the stamped fabric. Might have to do that off camera or something. Or maybe I'll do it after the time, just do one outside the challenge time. And last little one. There we go, cut all those off. Oh, this one, oh, no, get rid of that. So there we have it. Yeah, that was right. So it makes a change for me to make more than Rachel did in her challenge, but I've obviously done it the easy way by doing it with the sewing machine. So it's a lot quicker to do it this way. So, but I'm sure it looks much nicer if you can hand sew. Do the hand stitching on, looks a bit more individual. This is the way I needed to do it, and I'm really pleased with all these. How many have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18! Woohoo! Okay, so I've got 3 minutes left, so I'm just going to get my little box of stamped fabrics. Got a few little bits. See if I can find one that I could put onto one of these little clusters. That would be quite nice. That's small enough. A few words. There's a duck. Oh, and there's a bird. A sheep. What else we got? Another sheep. Another duck. No, I've got a bird here somewhere, another sort of bird. I quite like the duck. Oh, and I've got a rabbit. Where's my little bird? Perhaps I've used them, the birds. Thought I hadn't. It's probably going to be the last thing I come across will be the bird that I'm looking for. It may end up just being a duck. I don't know where it's gone. Another rabbit there. Didn't even know I had 2 rabbit stamps. Amazing what you find. And, oh, squirrel. I like the squirrel. Nope, can't find the bird. Not the one I was thinking of anyway. So I'm going to make a little snippet with a duck. Another birdie one. Nope, more duck. Isn't it the way you get one particular thing in your head and just not here? Just can't find it. I may have used it on something. I don't know what I've used it for. There we go. Never mind. We'll make a little snippet with a duck and maybe a rabbit. Well, I've got just over a minute. Let's just push those to one side. Get some fabrics back in again. And piece of that. what else can we have? What will go with him? Maybe a little bit of that. And I think I'll have to cut him down a little bit. So this is that little bit of a sort of canvasy sort of fabric, I guess. Frays beautifully. Just pull away some of the edges. May still be a bit big, not sure. Oh, there goes the timer. So I think I'm quite happy with what I achieved in my 45 minutes. Right, dismiss it. There we go. So yeah, so I've shown you the 18 that I made. Never made so many things in one of Rachel's challenges. So they'll go in my little box in a minute. I just thought I'd try making one or two with these little bits of stamped fabric, because I think I'm going to have to sew around it. It could be a challenge. The sewing of these might have to happen off camera, not sure. A bit more tricky. You can't just run a line through and have a zigzag going through the middle of my duck. Okay, so I'll do one more with the rabbit on. Don't want him to be too big. And this piece. Maybe a little bit of this as well. Lovely piece. Gorgeous material, this. And then the little rabbit on top. Not sure that's going to quite work. I think that's not quite big enough. I think I'll have to do that separately. One of those makes that you feel like you could just go and carry on doing all day, isn't it? Let's see, I need a slightly bigger piece to put the rabbit on. Piece of this perhaps. And I need something in between. It's a bit of colour, otherwise it's a bit bland. So I have plain white and then another bit of white, so I need something nice and bright in between the two, I think. What have we got? Maybe a piece of this would be quite nice. Like that. Right, I'm going to have a go at sewing these. Not sure I'm brave enough to do it on camera. These aren't as straightforward as putting a line through the middle. Might take a little bit of fiddling. I'll do one, and if it goes well, I'll do the other one on camera. So I'll either come back showing them both finished, or come back and show one finished and one ready to go. So we'll see. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, the bunny one didn't turn out too bad. I went round a couple of times because the first one was a bit of a weird shape, so I thought if I do it twice it looks on purpose. So I've gone around it and I haven't actually managed to stitch through the bunny, so I was quite happy about that. It was some weird shape, but so I'll have a go at doing the other one on camera. Not that you can see very much, I know, but it's kind of completing the process really, isn't it? So let's try doing that. And it's a bit sort of stop and start, just get going around the corners, but let's see how we go. Keep moving him around. Try not to cut his head off with stitching. I think I'll go around it twice. Looks better when you've done two. Then it doesn't matter if you go a little bit sort of in a funny direction some of the time. Just keep turning. Okay, I think he's done. Let's see how it looks. Okay, so this little one, I'll just trim him off. There we are. Little one with the duck and little one with the rabbit with some slightly weird sewing, but I still quite like them. They're a bit different. Okay, so that's 20 now. I've done 20. Woohoo! So there we are. That's this week's challenge. I think it's week number 14. I think that's all of them. Where's the rest? Any more? Yep, no one there. It's easy to lose them amongst all the other scrappy bits. I think that's all of them. Yep, so we have a nice little pile of them now. I'll have to see if I can get them in my box. Okay, thank you very much for joining me for the latest challenge. It's been really fun, Rachel. Thank you very much. Something a bit different. And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.